Hello everyone, it's your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting live stream. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about my day, April 15th. Honestly, don't remember what today's date is. April 16th, 2019. Now I gotta check to see if I messed up the date in the title. So today, if this is gonna be anything like yesterday, I'm gonna mainly talk about the fan poll, and that'll be like the discussion. So, in today's fan poll, you guys voted for Dueling Nexus, and by you guys, I mean Matt. Matt voted for Dueling Nexus, but play with like Dueling Nexus, but do two duels at the same time with like 75-second turns or whatever was like the whole thing, and jump back and forth between the duels, trying your best to do the best you can in both duels. So we try to do that. You can't set it to like 75 seconds, so I set it to like 60 seconds, because it only does it in increments of 30. Then we start up the stream. We got the duels going underway. Matt's like, oh, well, if you can't do 75, can we do like 90 seconds? And I'm like, well, I kind of already set up the thing. And it's not that I just set up one game, I already set up like two games. So I'd rather not like go back and have to change it. 60 seconds is actually closer to what you wanted than 90 seconds, anyways, which is just way more time. Um, so we try to do the duels, and we run into some complications like right off the bat. There weren't a lot of people who tuned into the stream, so what he originally proposed would have probably worked a lot better if there was like a bigger turnout. But with a smaller turnout, his thing just didn't make a lot of sense. We only had two people to play with to begin with. With the Dueling Nexus streams, we already have a rule that's like, if you played, then you gotta like wait until everybody's gotten an opportunity to play, and then we can like set it up again. So I end up losing to Matt. I was trying out a new deck that didn't seem to work very well, so I lost to Matt like very quickly. But then in the Ryan duel, I had like a better setup. Still not very good. I realized very quickly that a few of the cards I was running were not helping my cause whatsoever. Um, so that was really gross. So what ended up happening is I lost to Matt really quickly, and then Matt's like, set up another one. And I'm like, well, right now I'm dueling Ryan, and we have the thing where you don't go again until after everybody is gone. And then Matt's like, what? There are like only two people. And what I voted for is for you to fight two people at the same time. And it's like, well, I don't want it to be a thing where I'm actively in duels and then people pop into the live chat and then nobody gets an opportunity to play. A big thing that people were talking about yesterday is that if the duels go on for too long, not everybody gets a chance to play. But if multiple people go again and again, that definitely will lock people out and make it where not everyone gets a chance to play. So I'm like sticking by this. And then Matt's like, man, why are you trying to screw me over? You never let my choices go through. Da na na. I'm playing Ryan in Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. Matt's still complaining. Ray King pops in. Ray King's like, yo. I'm like, hey, Ray King. Here's like a link. Come like duel me. I'm doing like these simultaneous duels where I'm facing off against like two people at the same time. So Ray King's like, okay. But for whatever reason, Ray King can't join in to like the other game's lobby. And then Ryan's game, for whatever reason, just like stops working. And then Dueling Nexus from that point on doesn't let us do any more games. So it's like, oh shit, we just can't do Dueling Nexus at all right now. So then Matt's like, well, if that's the case, then you do Dueling Book now. You just do Dueling Book now. And I'm like, that's not really how it works. And then Matt's like, I voted in the fan poll and my vote won. Matt's like, because my vote won, I just have the power to say that we do whatever I want. I'm like, no. The way the fan poll works is like you vote for something, and then we try to do what you voted for. But you don't get to just change it whenever, and it's not like you're an all powerful being because your thing won the fan poll. Um, so I was like, nah, like it doesn't mean that we just switch over to Dueling Book. And then I gave them like a proposition. I was like, we could either A, do like the runner up, which was Ray King. Ray King won it like Jackbox. or we could just have me pick a game. So Kyler comes onto the stream around this time, and Kyler's like, you should just pick a game. And Ray King, of course, is like, hey, do the runner up because that's what I wanted to do in the first place. And then Matt's like, dueling book, dueling book. He's really pushing, just do what I say. Why do you always, nah, 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 kind of shit that Matt does. So I'm like, okay, I'll like flip a coin because it seems like we're at like a crossroads. Um, so the coin flip is like heads for like me pick a game because that's what Kyler wanted, and then tails for Ray King's pick, which was the runner up in the fan poll. So we did the coin flip using Google Assistant, and then it was like heads. So I was like, cool. So I wanted to play more Dragon Ball Fighter Z. So I streamed some Dragon Ball Fighter Z for a bit, and then Matt continued to complain. I think the thing that Matt complained about then is Matt's like, well, I actually said Jackbox. I actually said I wanted to do the thing that Ray King picked before you did the coin flip. So you should have just taken the majority vote. You should have done the majority vote. And then I'm like, from like what I saw, from like also living that experience, is that you kept like pushing dueling book, and then the only other thing I saw Matt say was, if you're gonna pick a game, what game are you gonna pick? Because he's like, I'd like to know before like I vote for anything. And I'm like, those aren't the options I'm giving you. Like, I'm not giving you the option between runner up and a confirmed game. It's a runner up and what I want to play. And what I want to play, I don't want to be like a confined box thing. I want it to be a thing where if I get it, I get to just pick a game that I want to play. Um, but then Matt makes a really big deal about like, oh man, so are you calling me a liar then? Do you not believe that I like said Jackbox before the coin flip? You no 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 no. And then Ryan's like, well, this is like provable. Like we can just look at the timestamps in the video versus the live chat and just see if you said it or not. But regardless, like another stream he's already started doing Fighter Z, and there's only like 30 minutes left in the time by this point anyways. There's just isn't a lot of reason to like make a big deal about it. There's not enough going on to make a big deal about it. So Matt still has to make a big deal about it, and he's like, how many times have I ever like lied to you? How often do I lie to you? And I thought about it. I was thinking about it logically. And I was like, well, if you're a really good liar, right? I would have no idea how often that you would lie to me, right? And I felt like that just makes sense, like logically. If someone is a really good liar, it'd be very hard to tell how often they lie to you. So I was like, I feel like this is a solid answer. Like the answer is, I don't know, because I don't know how good of a liar you are. And that is what determines how well I'd be able to know how often you lied, kind of thing. So I was like, I have no idea. So then Matt is like, what? He's like, hold up. So Matt gets upset at the idea that I wouldn't just say that Matt doesn't lie. He's like, based on my character, you should just be able to say that I don't like lie very often because you like know me, and based on you knowing me, you should know that I don't lie. And then I'm like, well, if you're really good at lying, how would I know? Like to me, his statement does not somehow break my argument. Like my argument still stands. I would have no idea if you were a good liar. So if you're a good liar, then anything that I could understand about you could just not be true. So answering that question, I can't really confirm or deny that question. I was like, I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just saying I don't know. Like logically, I would not be able to know because there's just pieces of information that I'm missing. So Matt gets really defensive and like butthurt about it, and then Ryan's like, Matt, I don't know why you're making a big deal about it, and it's just like the second fan poll in a row to just kind of be like shittier, just not as good of a fan poll. But that was today's fan poll. Today I've been reading the Marvel Ultimate Character Guide book and the DC Ultimate Character Guide. I don't know how far I am in the Marvel one off the top of my head. I remember I was reading like Dum Dum Dugan at one point. Yo, Ryan, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. I just finished talking about the fan poll situation that happened today. Ryan, do you have any like input about that you want to talk about? Like your opinions on what happened with today's fan poll and with Nexus and everything? And then Ryan said I was in a close duel. So Ryan's just jumping in on something that he was doing. So Ryan, how was that close duel? How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics like talk about on the stream? I was just transitioning from talking about the fan poll stuff to talking about the stuff, just ooh, stuff I've been doing today. So let's see. Ryan is continuing about the duel that he was in. Ryan said, "Hi, I was in a close duel, almost lost, but it looks like he banished a card he needed real late in the game with Pot of Desires. Rip. Well, sounds like you got him. Congratulations on that. Pot of Desires is a double-edged sword. Let's see. Before I move on, Ryan, is there anything that you'd like to say about today's fan poll? Ryan popped in earlier to a Dragon Ball Fighter Z stream that I did later in the day, and he started talking about the fan poll, which was interesting because it was just in a platform where there weren't a lot of people tuning in necessarily for discussion, you know? So it was like he popped in, he talked about the fan poll, and he like popped out. And then Ryan, as a meme, is like the fan poll needed more water bottles. More or less in the Fighter Z stream, Ryan was like, today's fan poll was a failure. That was like Ryan's words. He was like, today's fan poll was a failure. And he was like, and it was all Matt's fault because Matt like made like a stupid choice or whatever. Like he was like, Matt, I don't have an exact quote. So here's a not exact quote of what Ryan said, but it was more or less like it was because what Matt voted for was like dumb is why the fan poll was like really weird. Um, but yeah, I was just curious if you wanted to like share your thoughts on it or not. And then Ryan's memeing. He's like, I didn't say fan poll. I said Van Pool. I don't get the reference, or if it even is a reference, or if it's just a meme. But yeah, I've been mainly reading the different character guides and writing and publishing different superhero character guides. So I've been reading this. I learned something weird about this that I don't totally understand. Ryan said Jet can't divide his attention. So I've noticed that when I Google this book, it says it was published in 2015. Ryan said, especially on Nexus, when the limits run out. I was very confused in our duel. And he said, when they aren't broken. Now, what do you mean when they aren't broken? So, I'm not sure if you saw from the perspective of the stream, Ryan, but it was like waiting for opponent on my screen. I'm looking at your timer, and it's run like all the way to 0. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Um, and that's just something that we can like tune into the stream. Like I had no idea what was happening at that point. Yeah, Ryan was like, yeah, 0 time. And I was like, what? 0 time? I thought you just lose if you hit 0 time. So I was like, Nexus just looks broken. And then Ryan said, but locked up in the draw phase. Yeah. So I mean, it just didn't seem like we could continue because it just seemed like it was stuck in that. So one thing I've noticed is that if you look up this book, right, online it says this book was published in 2015. Um, but the whole reason I bought this book, right, is because it's like the updated and expanded edition Ultimate Character Guide. And if you look at the very back, right around here, I don't know if you guys can see this clearly at all. I'd say probably not. I'd say actually no. Yeah, I don't have a good way of showing you like that, but if I just use my camera like a human being. In 2015, and it has like the same art, like the same cover, and it'll show pictures on the inside of the book, and it'll be like identical to the pictures that they show for the preview for the 2015 book. And I can't tell if they literally like republished the 2015 book and just slapped 2019 on it, or if it really is updated and expanded, but just a lot of it's the same. Like I really don't know. There's a section in this book for Amadeus Cho, and Amadeus Cho is like a child genius in the Marvel universe who recently stole the powers of the Hulk. They don't mention shit about him stealing the powers of the Hulk at all, um, which I thought was weird. I kind of thought that was gonna come up, seemed important, but the more I think about this as a 2015 book that they just slapped 2019 on, the more I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it. Like I don't know if this is as updated and expanded as they claim it to be. So it just seems odd. Let's see. Looks like Nani's like finally a Nick vlog. He said I never get notified. I don't know why. Then Ryan said book has minor refits. I think he said refits. For whatever reason, that word just looks weird. I guess because I've never heard anyone ever say refit before. Is refit even a word? Replace or repair machinery, equipment, and fittings. Restoration or repair. I just feel like that's probably not what you mean. And minor updates, I guess, is what I would have put instead. Nani said, I see. So Nick died from the refit. So yeah, I don't really know how updated and expanded this book is since it looks extremely identical to the 2015 book, but I'll take their word for it. I've been reading this. I've gotten through this book all the way to because my plan is to read it cover to cover. I've gotten to yeah, actually, this is right here. I got to Echo, so I'm like on page 52. It's in alphabetical order. I'm only in the E's right now. But I've also been reading the DC character guide, like Ultimate Character Guide, and that one actually did come out like this year. It's actually brand new. I got that one digitally though, so I'm about to pull up the digital book. I just want to see where I left off. So there, I'm on page 64, and I'm at Doctor Poison. So I'm 12 pages farther on the DC one. So I've been really getting into the DC Ultimate Character Guide, even though I bought it after the Marvel one. But that makes sense because I'm a bigger DC fanboy than I am a Marvel fanboy. So I've been reading those two, and then I've been publishing character guides that I've been writing for my new superhero universe that I started called the Excitement Superhero Universe. Volume and 2 go over 10 characters total, 5 characters not reviewed, but I do like 5 characters per volume. So 5 new characters in volume 1 and then 5 new characters in volume 2 for 10 characters total. Both of them are available as ebooks right now on the Amazon store, so that's cool if you guys want to check that out. But I've been reading character guides, writing character guides, publishing character guides, and listening to classical music for the most part. That's been about it. I've also been listening to some like TED Talks that comic book writers have been in. For example, there was an editor of Marvel who did a TED Talk, and she also did a lot of work on Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. That was a pretty solid TED Talk. It was talking about like diversity in comics and things of that nature. Stan Lee did a TED Talk. I've already talked about that before. That's about like how to create your own superhero stories. And I also watched a few TED Talks by philosophers talking about the philosophy of comics And it was very similar to the kind of thing that you would see at like Dragon Con, where scholars will come up and do panels talking about different superheroes. It was pretty interesting. Okay, let me see. Scrolling up. Gotta catch up. So, Nani said, "Where's Winslow?" He's probably in his dorm. Kel said, "How's it going?" He said, "I'm almost done with my language arts project." Ah, fantastic as always. Thank you for asking. Kels, the things you've missed so far. We talked about today's fan poll and like how that was like kind of a disaster. We talked about what I've been up to today, which has mainly been like reading character guides, writing and publishing character guides, listening to classical music, and watching comic book based TED Talks. And that's about it. Nani asked if I like ants. So ants, hmm, I don't know. It depends on the type of ant, I guess. Green ants are interesting. They have like an erosive gas that like comes out of their behind. So when a bunch of green ants fight like another bug, they're not only like biting that bug to death, but they're also like melting it to death. I just think that's an interesting power. And the way that it works is that one green ant isn't gonna fuck you up. But if you were covered in like green ants, they'd be like actively like melting you down and biting the shit out of you. So that's pretty interesting. And then Ryan said, not in the room. Well, of course. Who wants ants in the room? Then Ryan says he likes ants. He likes ants better than people, which is interesting. Nani said there's some in his room again. He says he needs to kill them all. Get that bug spray. He said, I don't know where they're at, but I use my flashlight and I can see some through my rug. Through your rug. Ooh, that seems odd. Ryan posted a link to something. He said, great documentary. Documentary about what? Then Kel said, how was the fan poll a disaster? So I went over this earlier in the stream. Long story short, Matt voted for something weird. We tried to accommodate what Matt voted for to the best of our abilities. Matt was pissy that he wasn't getting exactly what he wanted. Dueling Nexus stopped working. Matt was like, I'm making new demands because I won the fan poll. I'm like, that's not how the fan poll works. Just because what you voted for wins doesn't mean that you can just change it at any time and continue to manipulate it. Matt gets pissy again. I give everybody like options on what we can do instead, like do the fan poll runner up, or allow me to like pick a game that like I want to play. Um, the audience is divided between letting me pick a game I want to play and the runner up. I do a coin flip. The coin flip leads to me being able to just play what I want to play. Matt gets pissy. He's like, oh no, I actually wanted the runner up all along. I actually said that in the chat before the coin flip landed or whatever. And I was like, that's not what you were saying before. It seemed like you were very dead set on us just doing another thing that you wanted us to do. And then Matt's like, oh, so you think I'm a liar? And then I'm like, I'm not necessarily saying that. And then he's like, how often do I lie? And I'm like, logically, I just don't know how often you'd lie, because if you were good at lying, then I'd have no idea. And then Matt's like, oh, so you don't trust my character? Then Ryan's like, it's not that big of a deal. Matt, just calm down. Matt's like, I can't calm down because I'm Matt, so I just gotta be mad at everything. And it was just really gross. Let's see. Ryan said corrosive acid. Nani said, what did Matt vote for? So Matt voted for Dueling Nexus, but Jet has to play two games at once, like two different Dueling Nexus matches at the same time, both with like a 75-second timer for each one, and has to try to do his best at like each duel. And then throughout that like whole stream, he tried to dictate like additional rules and like restrictions. He tried to like kind of control it further beyond what he had said initially. Um, and then he just complained and complained and complained, even though he got as close to what he wanted as we could do. And then once Dueling Nexus broke, which is outside of our control, he just complained more and just was more upset. It was just Matt just kind of bitching a lot. And then Nani said, lol, Matt always thinks he's in charge, but he's funny. And he said, LMAO, Matt. Then Ryan said, Jet, no one cares anymore unless Matt brings it up. And then Nani said, so Matt and Ryan got mad with each other. Then Kel said, wow, that sounds like a mess. It was a mess. But this is like the second fan poll in a row that's been like kind of gross. The first one, it was because I was doing like Fighter Z and like Nexus at the same time. But it had like a pretty heavy negative response. And then this time around, it's me like trying to accommodate like a viewer, and then it's still like negative response really hard. So it's just like juggling, I guess, just trying to do my best. But it doesn't always work out. Ryan, I feel like it matters a little bit to talk about it, only because it's relevant, one, to the channel, and two, to the fact that it's like the second fan poll on the row to be kind of weird. You know what I mean? So I think that's why it matters to talk about it. So right now, I'm in like a weird situation. I'm trying to spend as many of my charger bucks as I possibly can. So at my university, you get these things called charger bucks, which is essentially fake money that you paid real money for. And the university is like, aha, if you do like a meal plan of any kind to try and eat on campus, then we're gonna give you some charger bucks that you can only spend here, and you can only spend them in like certain places. And if you don't spend all your charger bucks by like the end of the semester, whatever semester you're in, they don't roll over to the next semester. So essentially the fake money you bought, it just goes away. So you just lose money if you don't spend all of it. So what I end up doing is throughout the year, I try to like conserve it, because I have a lot of friends who will just overspend it, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I'm all out of charger bucks. I wanted to do this or that on campus, but I can't because I spent them all." Um, but now I'm at like not only near the end of the semester, but my last semester. I'm like, I really need to spend these charger bucks. So I was going to try and eat at like Dunkin' Donuts on campus and try and do that like regularly, like every day. But last night, I tried to eat at Dunkin' Donuts on campus, and I succeeded, but they didn't have everything that I wanted. So I kind of had to figure out a way to get as close to what I wanted, excuse me, as possible with like the limited supplies Dunkin' had left. Because I ended up going to Dunkin' really late because I normally eat really late. But that threw off my like food cycle. So now I'm like, oh, well, if I keep eating really late, then I can't fucking do the Dunkin' Charger Bucks meme unless I like exercise an additional time, like randomly in the middle of the day or something like that. So I'm planning on eating on campus with Charger Bucks this weekend, I guess, because doing it any time before then wouldn't make any sense. So yeah, like that's my current plan, to try and like spend more of them. I got a couple smoothies at the C store. It's like a little gas station store that we have on campus, to blow through a few more charger bucks. Um, and of course, I can get stuff like frozen chocolates and shit like that, at Dunkin' just on occasion, even if it's not like a full meal, or try to get some Dunkin' for later. I used to just buy donuts and put them in my fridge and like store them for later, like in earlier semesters trying to blow through charger bucks. Now I don't have that luxury to like just buy donuts and like blow through them, because I just don't eat as many donuts as I used to. So I'm trying to find like alternative solutions. Let's see. Nani said, "I want some donuts," and then he said, "Charger bucks." Let's see. Mm. Oh, Ryan, what have you been up to? I kind of thought that Ryan would come by and hang out like last weekend, and he just didn't. I remember I was like on a stream, and I was like, "Yo, Ryan, what are your plans for this weekend?" And Ryan was like, "I don't have plans for this weekend." And I was like, "Cool." And then Ryan like didn't hit me up over the weekend. Saturday, I'm gonna be hanging out with Colin and the guys. Friday, I'm going on a, I guess, date not date with Beth, which is kind of weird. And you may be like, a date not date, like what do you mean by that? Well, I hit up Beth and I was like, I was interested if you wanted to like maybe go out sometime. And then Beth's reaction is like, I'm not sure if I necessarily have like romantic feelings for you or anything like that. But I was like, yeah, we just met. Like, agreed. It's a thing where it's like, I just want to get to know you and like hang out more. And then she's like, oh, well, I'm cool with that. Like that, yeah, if that's what you mean, then that's dope. So we're going to go to Bridge Street, which is like area. I don't know why I'm saying it's an area. Of course, it's a fucking place. It's like an outdoor shopping mall kind of thing that we have. It's really nice. It's been nice since it first came out. Um, our favorite places at Bridge Street are Barnes and Nobles, and then she likes It's Sugar, which is like a Piccadilly like candy store where you pick out what you want and like put it in like a bag or whatever. The movie theater, but we're not gonna go see a movie. We're just gonna walk around between the different stores. And I like Pyology, but I don't think that's like a shared thing that we both enjoy. But we're mainly gonna go to Barnes and Nobles and hang out, and then she'll probably go to It Sugar and get some candy, and we'll just talk and like get to know each other a little bit better. That and get to know each other a little bit better. I don't know how I tripped over that. Kel said, "Boom! I just finished the project. Now I can move on with my life. Congratulations on your language arts project, Kels." Nani said, "Let's see what we got going on here." Then Kevin said, Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig wants." And then he said, hashtag facts, subjet in chat. Yo, Kevin, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Kel said, "You can dunk in my donuts any day." And then Nani said, "Ryan would love that, Kels." And then Kevin said, "Any day you say, Kels." And then Nani said, "Rels, I mean." Then Kevin Kevin corrects to Kells, and then Nani said no Rels or Kylan. Kylan is just the better one. It's just the better ship name. Mm. Real quick in the live chat, I'm going to share some links to my latest books that I've been working on. They're like superhero character guide books, now available on Amazon as like ebooks. Like I said, each one goes over 5 different like superhero universe style characters that I've come up with. So feel free to check those out if you're interested. I believe you can read them for free straight up if you have Kindle Unlimited. So if you already have Kindle Unlimited, feel free to like check those out. Nani did the Matt meme where he just talked about what Matt voted for on the fan poll. Kel said, "At Ryan, does every day work for you, including right now?" Mm. Tomorrow night, I have my first final exam. We're now getting down to where like finals are gonna start up. So the final that I'm gonna have tonight is going to be at 6 p.m. It's going to be in the normal classroom. It's going to be a partially multiple choice, partially true or false test. Not comprehensive, just going over like new material. It's talking about information systems and how you use them in businesses. It's the only class where I don't have an A. It's the only class where I don't have an A right now. Um, I don't feel stressed out about the test at all. I don't feel like the class is even really that difficult. Um, it's just for whatever reason, the teacher changed how like the grades worked, and it went from me having like a high B to suddenly me having like a lower B. Because at first when I had the high B, I'm like, oh, I can just get that back up to like an A. And then he was like, "Hey, so I redid the grading scale." And then a whole bunch of people were like, "Grade is just way lower now. I don't know what happened." And like I said, there was like one guy in the class who was like, "My grades are just way better now." Um, excuse me. But ever since then, I've just been like, I guess I just have a B now. I guess I just have a B in that class. But I think I'll do fine on the final. It's just currently on my mind because that's like the next really big thing. Then Ryan said, "Free for what?" Then Kevin said, "Know any good links for public domain superheroes, Jet? For public domain superheroes? Ba-da-da-bum-bum. Have you ever been to the public domain superhero wikia? There's like straight up just a wikia for it. Now, when I was a kid, I used to go on that wikia and I was like, how do I really know if any of this is public domain? This is something that a lot of people have had issues with, where you'll see something that says blank character is public domain, and then you're like, but how do I know really? What you want to do is use this as reference. It's the first copyright renewal for periodicals. As long as the comic book came out like in the 1940s or whatever, if it doesn't appear in this list of like books, yeah, it's like any comic that came out prior to 1964. If it doesn't appear in this list, it's probably public domain. That's like the best way to go about it. Kevin said, "Yeah, I have, but it seems questionable to me." I agree. I also think the public domain superhero wiki is kind of sketch. Use this resource. Whenever they say like, "This Catman's public domain," Catman came out before 1964. Just figure out like what was Catman in, and it's like Catman was in Catman comics, and then you just do Control Find on the first copyright renewals for periodicals and just search Catman comics. And if that shit doesn't come up, then they didn't renew it, which means it's public domain, and you can just do whatever you want with it. So that's what you should do. So just scroll around public domain superhero wiki, and then whenever you see a character that you like, just double check on the first copyright renewals for periodicals to make sure that it's not in the list. And if it's not, then you should be able to hit it up. So that's my advice to you. Mm. Let's see. Nani said, so do they sell Dragon Ball Z Heroes cards? Who is they? Who are you? You're like, the machines do. Like the arcade machines where you like play the game, you can like get a card. I think you get a card every time you play those arcade machines. Are you asking, can you just buy them not from the machines? I think at that point you're buying from like a secondary seller, like someone who already got a card from a machine could sell it on Amazon and then you could get it. You know, it could be that kind of thing. Kevin said, "Thanks, Jet. I appreciate it. No problem." Uh, Kel said, "Can we get an H in the chat? Some love for Dragon Ball Heroes." Kel's posted the H. I too will post the H. So I have a question for you guys that I know you guys don't care about, but I'm still curious to see what your thoughts are. So later today, a comic's gonna come out that was not on my radar at all. I wasn't paying any attention to it because it's about a girl who doesn't know who her parents are and she's trying to discover who her parents are. And she's like a reporter. As far as we know, she doesn't have any superpowers or anything like that. She's just a reporter and she doesn't know who her parents are. The book's called Naomi. Naomi has gone for 3 issues. I haven't heard shit about it. I haven't heard anybody talk about Naomi. Naomi issue number 4 comes out later today, and I saw a news headline that was like, Naomi number 4 sold out. Every copy of Naomi number 4, niggas are just jumping on Naomi number 4. And it's like, what? Like, no one talked about Naomi issues number 1 through 3. Why is number 4 so important? And the reason why they're vibing with number 4 so hard is because they're going to reveal who Naomi's parents are, and it's also going to reveal that there's like a whole other multiverse in DC Comics that we didn't know about. So it makes it seem like whoever Naomi's parents are, they're important and probably like a mainstay character in DC. Like a name that you guys probably know, like a big character, probably has like a daughter that is Naomi and we don't know who it is yet. So here are the clues that we have. 1, Naomi's black. 2, Naomi lives in Metropolis. 3, she's a reporter. That's really all we fucking know. I haven't read Naomi, so I haven't read issues 1 through 3. So really, that's all I know about Naomi is that she's black. She's like a teenager. She's a reporter, and she lives in Metropolis. Who do you think are her parents? Because it seems like her parents are going to be important. It's not like they're going to be like some randos. It's going to be like a legitimate DC Comics character. I think so many people are jumping on Naomi number 4 because the writer of Naomi has already revealed that Naomi's going to be important and that after Naomi's over, She's gonna appear in a whole bunch of other shit, and she's eventually gonna be a superhero. They're building Naomi up to be the next big thing. So they're like, number four is hella important. So who do you guys think is gonna be like Naomi's parents? Let's see. Ryan said, "Why ship me with Kells?" Then Kells said, "No fake jet. Me and Ryan are shipped together." And then Ryan said, "Oh." And then Ryan's like, "Why are you and Ryan shipped together?" And then Kells said, "Honestly, I don't know. I think Nani is the main perpetrator of that." Ryan said, "It's the daughter of Steel because he is black in Metropolis." Oh, so Ryan thinks Naomi is gonna be Steele's daughter. If you guys don't know who Steele is, Steele's real name is John Henry Irons. His whole thing is that he makes like an Iron Man style suit that has a Superman insignia on it, and he's a black guy. He's essentially black Iron Man, but his suit looks like Superman. And Ryan's like, Naomi's black. She lives in Metropolis. John Henry Irons is black. Lives in Metropolis. eh? Eh? So let's see. Nani said, who? Then so Kylan is confirmed, yes. Then Kel said, honestly, I have no idea whom her parents are. Homestift? What? What the fuck was that? And then Ryan's like, his whole thing is he has a hammer. Like Thor. But he's got a metal suit. Like Iron Man. But Steel doesn't seem like a bad guess. Steel already has a daughter, though. I mean, it's not like having a kid means you can't have another kid, but I don't know. Also, they claim that Naomi number four is gonna reveal that there's like a whole other multiverse that exists that we didn't know about, which makes me think that Naomi may have like a cosmic based parent, like maybe some kind of like alien or space based character might be her mom. So, does anyone have any like space based guesses for like who Naomi's like parents may be? I don't know why I said mom. It could be a mom or a dad thing. Let's see. Kel said, Nani, I think it's more fun if the ship isn't confirmed. Then Ryan said, metal suit like Thor. I mean, armor. Thor has armor. It doesn't. I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same vibe. And then Nani said, what is her power? So, as far as we know, Naomi doesn't have any powers. However, it could be a thing where Naomi learns who her parents are and then suddenly is like, oh shit, wait, does that mean? And then suddenly, like, has abilities. But as far as we're aware right now, Naomi is like a normal person. She's like a black girl. She has dreads. She's a teenager. She lives in Metropolis. She's an investigative reporter, and she's trying to figure out who her parents are. But whoever her parents are, it seems like they're going to be important. And apparently, when she learns who her parents are, she'll also uncover. I think I said uncover like a whole other multiverse that we didn't know about. That's going to lead into all these crazy new DC stories that are really important. Which is weird to think about. We just recently had a DC arc where a multiverse was uncovered. It was during Dark Knight's Metal. We learned that the dark multiverse exists. Maybe Naomi connected to the light multiverse, if that's a thing. That sounds stupid. But who knows? Whenever you're saying new multiverses are appearing, it already is stupid. So I have no idea. Let's see. Ryan said Thor's daughter from Next Avenger confirmed. And then Ryan said her mom is Gwen. Gwen? Like Gwen Stacy? Or like or Gwen like Ben 10 Gwen. Also, Thor's daughter from Next Avenger, she was just wasn't she white? Could have sworn she was white. And then Ryan says Space Gwen. Space Gwen. Mm. A question I have for you guys. So a lot of people are hyped for the reveal of who Naomi's parents are. Do you think both Naomi's parents are going to be important? Like, she's the daughter of, like, this really important nigga and this really important nigga, and it's gonna mix is crazy. Or do you think it's like normal person and super person made Naomi and now she's important? And then Ryan said, rip her parents, both dead. So, oh, do you think who her parents are, but they're not going to be alive? That would limit the list of people it could possibly be. Ryan's like, she is also an orphan. I could see that. Um, let's see. If I rattle off a few black characters off the top of my head, Nani's like, who do you think it'll be, Nick? If, like I said, if I rattle off a few black characters that it could be, like if she truly doesn't have powers, right? It could be quite a few people. John Stewart, Green Lantern, he has a Green Lantern ring, and he's like cosmic based, but he himself doesn't have like superpowers. So if he like got a girl pregnant at some point in Metropolis and like did like peace, and then she ended up getting like adopted by like some other parents, John Stewart may never know about it, and she could have like connections to some crazy cosmic shit through John Stewart, um, but not have any powers of her own in the same way that her dad doesn't have any powers. If she was like an illegitimate child of like Cyborg, I could see that. Because just because Cyborg is like, I'm half like robot, that doesn't mean like his semen's half robot. Like he would just have a normal kid. So I could see that happening. I don't think she's related to like Black Lightning. Black Lightning has kids and they've like inherited his powers. So I don't think she's the illegitimate child of Black Lightning or anything weird like that. Then Ryan said John Stuart Mill, philosopher. And then Ryan said Cyborg has no genitals. I don't know. I don't know if Cyborg does or does not have a dick. Actually, yes, I do know if Cyborg does or does not have a dick. So I read a little bit of Cyborg back in the day, and he eventually got to the point where his suit could regenerate his full human body. And I say suit, his like cybernetic half is constantly evolving, right? There was a Cyborg comic where Cyborg like dies, like he actually just straight up dies, and then the suit's like, excuse me, fuck that, and the suit just resurrects Cyborg. Cyborg just comes back to life, and then from that point on, the suit's like constant evolution became exponential. Like the suit was getting increasingly better and better just all the fucking time after the resurrection, and it got to the point where Cyborg, the nanites could completely recreate his human half. He could just walk around like a normal person if he wanted to. But the whole arc was about Cyborg accepting the fact that he was a cyborg. So instead of walking around like a normal person, he just doesn't because he's like accepting himself. And that's what that whole arc was about. But if he like normal personed himself around, also Naomi's like a teenager. So I could see it being Cyborg maybe had a kid like in high school or something and didn't know about it. Because he used to be like on the football team. Maybe he like got with this one girl at like school and she never told him that she was like pregnant, and then she's like, I'm too young for like a baby, so she put it up for adoption, and then it would make sense that Cyborg would have never heard about it because Cyborg would have like had his accident and become a superhero and like moved on in life, so he just wouldn't know that like he had a kid somewhere, and it turns out that it's like Naomi. John Stewart has a similar thing. Like because she's a teenager, it could have been a thing where it's like John Stewart got with this one girl in Metropolis, and then he's like, "Oh, I either went to the war because he was like a soldier, like in the military, or John Stewart was like, I became a Green Lantern and I was like in space. Like I just like got a girl pregnant, was like, oh shit, super shit's happening. I'm just gone now. Like that's just a way for it to work. Kevin said I ship Nani in chat with Kaiba Inuzuka from Naruto. Oh, Kiba. Kiba and Nani? Even Nani needs someone with a dog. What? this, Then Ryan said, "Rip Cyborg." He said, "But now he has a dick." And he said, "I shipped Jet with a water bottle." Then he said, "Cyborg cheated with Raven to make Demon Baby Trigon Granddad." Gosh, I don't think Naomi's gonna be related to Raven at all. Nani said, "What about me?" Kevin ships you with a Naruto character, Nani. Um, let's see. I'm sure Nani ships himself with Rukia. Naomi could be the daughter. Cyborg and Jon Stewart, I think, are really good for like guesses. Steel was really interesting. I mean, Steel is just in Metropolis, so I could see that being the case. Let's see. Ryan said Cyborg cheated with Lois Lane. Oh gosh, I hope not. Is it because she's a reporter that you think that it's Lois Lane? Vanessa Brooks said, "Hi, you have Vanessa Brooks. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy and any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream?" Then Nani said, "Yes, with Rukia." Then Kevin said, "Nothing, Nani." Then Ryan said, "Which is why she is a reporter." I don't think Naomi is the love child of fucking Lois Lane and Cyborg in secret. What a weird drama bomb. One character that I haven't heard anybody talk about, Mr. Terrific could be her dad. I could actually definitely see that. Mr. Terrific is like one of the smartest men in the world. He's black. He's probably fucked around with a lot of cosmic stuff just by like being a super genius and doing all these crazy experiments and shit. And he's probably gotten laid. Like I, like I, if it was like it's Mr. Terrific's daughter, I'd be like, oh yeah, whatever, cool. And then Ryan says Steel plus Lane equals Black Reporter. Let's see. Kevin said Beast Boy gets no love, does he? Well, Changeling, aka Beast Boy, in Young Justice is like an actor, um, and he seems to be pretty popular with the ladies in Young Justice, the cartoon, like the animated series. And then Ryan said, but he has animal dick, in reference to Beast Boy. Nani said, so did you like my drawing, Nick? Yeah. Nani, when I looked at your drawing, I did like a full thing where I like talked about how much I liked it and how I liked your unique style. So you already know, Nani. Vanessa Brooks said, "Who do you think is Nightwing's girlfriend?" Normally it's Barbara Gordon, but Nightwing has been known to get around. So I don't know what his current ship is. Like I don't know if Nightwing is currently pursuing Barbara Gordon. I believe at certain times he's pursuing like Starfire. Then I think at other times he may or may not have pursued Donna Troy, like Wonder Girl. I don't know for sure on that one. But Nightwing kind of jumps around. So I honestly don't know. I really don't. Then Ryan said bestiality. And then Ryan said, "By Barbara is dead." Um, I don't think Batgirl's dead, not at the moment. Then Vanessa Brooks said, "Nightwing is mine." Vanessa Brooks, you've claimed many a fictional man. There's only so many to go around. Ryan said Nightwing and Zatanna. Yeah, wasn't that a thing in Young Justice for a little bit? Nightwing and Zatanna. Yeah, they just like to ship Nightwing with someone. And then Ryan said video game Barbara is dead. I'm pretty sure Batman was just under the influence of the fear toxin. I don't think Barbara's dead. I think that's like a trick, trying to make you think Barbara's dead. We'll find out next time I play Batman Arkham Knight. Um, let's see. Oh, here's an interesting question that I haven't asked you guys. How do you think I could improve the channel? What is like your advice that you would give me to try and make the channel better in your opinion? Things that I could do, whether they are small or big changes where you think like I would enjoy this content more, or this would motivate me to like smash that like button, or this would motivate me to like share the content out more and like things of that nature. Right now, comments are actually at like a good point. Like we're getting like plenty of comments, which is nice. Um, but likes have gone down. We're still getting like hundreds of likes like a month, But YouTube is like, your likes are just, they're not as good as before. Um, we haven't gained a lot of new subscribers. We used to gain like 28 subscribers a month. Then it jumped all the way to like 60 subscribers a month. And now we're like at 21 subscribers a month. So subscribers have definitely been suffering. Um, Views have gone down, but watch time has gone up. Like people, there are less people watching, but the people who are watching for longer, which is interesting. It's just stuff like that. Let's see. Ryan said, "Remove democracy, make it a military dictatorship with cannons." And then Nani said, "What happened to your likes?" So right now, um, the number of likes compared to like past months is lower. I think this month we've gotten like over 300 something likes, which is fine. That's a lot of likes. Um, but YouTube, just whenever I check my analytics, is like people aren't liking your content as much as they used to. Uh, like YouTube will like show you stuff like that, and it's just like And YouTube's like people just aren't really sharing your content. They're not like sharing it on other platforms. So it's like, oh, okay. So I'm just asking for like advice. Like, what are things that you guys feel like you would like to see more on the channel? Things that you feel like I could change that would make you guys more interested in like sharing it with like your friends, or more interested in like smashing that like button, things of that nature. Let's see. Then Ryan said it's because I disliked, and then Nani said, "Oh yeah, Ryan and Matt scums always disliking." Kevin said Beast Boy isn't an animal himself and is human. It's just he has powers to change into different animals. So I don't know if the bestiality thing will be accurate or not. Then Ryan said if you have sex with him in animal form, I mean Ryan's right. If you have sex with him in animal form, that's bestiality. Unless you were also an animal, to which then that's just sex, I guess. When it's two animals. Vanessa Brooks said, "Me and my brother react to Katana in Mortal Kombat 11." I said, "Yay!" And my brother said, "Oh boy, she's back, Katana." I still haven't watched a lot of the Mortal Kombat stuff. I feel like I should. I feel like I should just watch it. Um, I mentioned this the other day, but I stopped watching a lot of new stuff because of the fact that I was like, oh man, but if I watch it, I need to do a reaction video and da 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 da. But Kells gave some pretty good advice on that earlier. He was like, just do, instead of reaction videos, commentary videos, so you can watch it whenever you want, and then you can just do a video later where you talk about it. I think that's fair. Ryan put a controversial post about Beast Boy and dolphins. Uh, Kevin said, yeah, in animal form, then yes. Then Nani said, Katana has Melina moves. I don't think she will be in the game. Well, maybe. Because she died on X, I think. Oh, you're talking about Melina? You don't think Melina's going to be in the game? I don't know. Um, True Underdog does a lot of Mortal Kombat 11 videos. So if you guys are really into Mortal Kombat 11 and want to see more videos about Mortal Kombat 11, I definitely highly recommend True Underdog's channel. I think he does a Mortal Kombat 11 video like super regularly, like as often as he can. Ryan said light and jump force. Then Nani said yeah, because Katana has her knife thing and one of her moves. Okay, I don't know a lot about it. I've kind of fallen behind on the Mortal Kombat 11 hype. I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm just waiting for the game to go on sale, and then I'm going to try and, excuse me, get my hands on Mortal Kombat 11. Kel said, I returned. Did I miss anything important? We talked about the Naomi thing and who we think could possibly be Naomi's father. Um, we brought up John Stewart, Steel, Cyborg, and Mr. Terrific as like possible dads for Naomi. We'll learn that later today when the Naomi comic comes out. We talked about Dick Grayson Robin and how he like kind of gets around a lot. Well, Dick Grayson Nightwing, how he gets around a lot with like different girls because writers will just pair him up with different women throughout comics. We started talking about Mortal Kombat 11. There was a Katana trailer. I haven't seen it yet. Nani thinks Melina isn't going to be in the game because it seems like Katana has some of Melina's moves, and he believes that Melina like died in X or something weird. I don't know. Ryan and Kevin talked about Beast Boy And Kevin was like, Beast Boy gets no love. Then Ryan was like, um, well, that would be bestiality. And then they had like a whole discussion on that. Nani then talked about just a Jotaro and Dio. You haven't missed anything. That's pretty much everything. Kevin said, "What's your thoughts on Disney Plus?" So the only thing in Disney Plus that I'm like excited for is Wanda and Vision. Essentially, Scarlet Witch and Vision are gonna get their own live action TV show on Disney Plus. I'm not gonna get Disney Plus, but I feel like that would be a pretty cool show. It's gonna be in continuity with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. At least that's what they say. The big thing about it is that they said that about like Agents of Shield, and they said that about like Punisher and Daredevil and Iron Fist and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. But a lot of times when Marvel does a show that's in continuity with the movies, they're like they're very loosely connected and they don't actually have a lot to do with each other. You can just not watch the shows and be fine. They don't really connect that hard. So with Disney Plus, I think Wanda and Vision will be cool because I do think it would be dope to see like a whole show where you get to dive deeper into like Vision and learn more about him. They're also gonna have a Winter Soldier and Falcon show, which I think that is dope. I really liked the buddy cop feel that they had in Marvel's Civil War. Civil War is my favorite Marvel movie, by the way. So the idea of them getting a whole show of them just hanging out doing fucking crime fighting sounds dope. So those are the two things that I'm excited for Disney Plus, but I'm not gonna get Disney Plus, so that's not gonna happen. Let's see. Scrolling up, Nani said she did die. That big lady killed her. Devora killed Melina. Okay. Then Ryan said Disney Plus has Star Wars: The Clone Wars season 7. That's just gonna be online. That's I'm not. I'm not friend for that. That Jess will be on the internet. You know that. Nani said Bug Lady. And then Ryan said, for that reason alone, it's worth it. Mm. Nani said, what if Ryan is in Mortal Kombat? And then Ryan said, okay. He died. Then Kel said, what if I'm in the next Mortal Kombat? And then Ryan said, okay. You died. And then Nani said, would he be Borat Cho? And then Kel said, makes sense. Then Ryan said, hanging out with the crew in the schoolyard. Uh, hmm. I don't think we're gonna get any Yu-Gi-Oh! GX characters in Jump Force. I doubt it. But that's what I thought about since we were talking about Mortal Kombat, and then you quoted that legendary theme song. Let's see. So, I guess things that I'm hype about in terms of like tomorrow. I want to learn who Naomi's dad is. So I gotta check out Naomi number 4. Hopefully it gets posted online with all the hype around Naomi and the idea that Naomi number 4 is sold out everywhere. Hopefully whoever fucking scans comic books onto the internet uh, is one of the people who's already like pre-ordered Naomi number 4 because now I want to know who her parents are. So I'm really excited about that. I have a final tonight at 6 p.m., but Uh, I'm not thinking about that too hard. I feel like I'll do fine. I need to do laundry today at some point, so that's gonna be like another big thing. Ryan said Bakura cards Jet Destiny board support. They did make some support for Bakura and for the Destiny board stuff. Well, am I gonna play it? Probably not. Uh, I'm not too impressed from what I've heard of this Destiny board support. Um, Maybe one of those cards I could see myself playing, but I'm not too hype about a Destiny board setup. Excuse me. Nani said, "Don't die, Nick." Oh, why would I die? Kevin said, "Any streams tomorrow?" Well, of course we're gonna have the fan poll stream, where you guys will get to vote for what you like to watch next on the channel, and we'll have the fan poll results at 1 p.m. I'm now gonna stop doing a whole stream for just the results. I've had complaints in the past that are like, if you do a fan poll result stream, it takes away from the actual amount of time that we have to just do whatever won the fan poll. So what I'm gonna try to do is just look at the comment section, see what everyone voted for at 1 p.m., and then do whatever won as a stream. And then in that stream, I can like be like, So here's what won. Da na 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 na. Other people voted for this. Da na 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 na. But we can keep the show going, because that's just something people have complained about in the past. Plus, not a lot of people watch the fan poll results videos anyways. Like the specific video to just reveal the results, a lot of times gets skipped over anyways, just to see the winner. So we're gonna still have the fan poll as always tomorrow, and we're gonna have the fan poll winners stream as well, and of course we're gonna have the midnight vlog like what we're doing now. The midnight vlog is supposed to be every day regardless. Um, so yeah, those are the confirmed streams for tomorrow. There might be additional live streams tomorrow, but I'm not sure. Those will probably be like unscheduled, just me playing games and streaming, or maybe talking about Naomi. I might talk about Naomi tomorrow. Who knows? Let's see. Kel said, Jet, I decided to use Winter as the musical reference of your stand because I can't think of anything with the space jazz song. That's fair. I understand you. Then Ryan said, Legacy of the Duelist greater than Jet's whole deck. I do think Legacy of the Duelist is pretty good, not gonna lie. I tried to run an Iron Chain deck today, um, but I think I tried to put too many additional cards in it. The whole point of running Iron Chain cards was to try and make a mill deck instead of a stall deck, but it would use the stall deck's mechanics in order to like keep the Iron Chain stuff alive long enough for it to work. But I added in too many additional fluff cards that didn't need to be put in there. So I added like hand destruction and like card destruction and shit like that. But card destruction was just fucking hurting me. Like it wasn't. I don't know why I put all that in there. So what I'm probably gonna do is take another look at the Iron Chain deck that I made before. Strip out a lot of the unnecessary additional cards that were in it, and just have it be the stall hell deck that I already had with the addition of Iron Chain monsters and the addition of like the Iron Chain continuous spell, and that's it. So it's just all stall with Iron Chain in there as the win condition. So instead of trying to win by final countdown, you try to win by like milling your opponent's deck. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if that works. Kel said, let's hope the next fan poll goes well. I hope so. Ryan said you were running Iron Chain wrong. Agreed. I 100% agree. Let's see. After this vlog video, what I'll probably do is not lie down immediately. I'll probably start up some classical music. So I'll like sit back, listen to like some Beethoven, crack open maybe the Marvel character guide. I've been reading a lot of the DC character guide recently. So on the DC character guide, I'm on like page 64. On the Marvel character guide, I'm on page 52. So maybe I'll read like 12 pages of the Marvel character guide so I can be at the same place in both books just to like catch up. I might write a little bit, so I'll probably work on my ultimate character guide to the excitement superhero universe that I've been writing. So I'll maybe add a few more characters to that. Ryan said, I've watched more RDC World videos. Did you see the new RDC World video that came out today? It's like how they train people at Popeyes or whatever. That was actually a pretty solid video. If anyone has, sorry about that, we had a connection error, so you guys are probably about to or just did experience a bunch of lag. All I was saying is RDC World dropped a new video that's like how they train employees at Popeyes. It's a comedy sketch similar to the sketch that they had that was called How They Train Employees at Chick-fil-A. Let's see. Kel said, Jet, you should make a Starving Venom deck. So I had a shit ton of Starving Venom decks back in the day, Kels. Once they banned the Starving Venom card that I cared about, I switched over to making Crystal Wing decks. And then I was like, well, I've done this enough. You know, at a certain point, you make a deck and you're satisfied with it, and you're like, this plays to the like level that I want it to, and it does what I want it to. But I've just played it a lot, so I want to do something else. So Crystal Wing, um, Wait. Not Crystal Wing. I don't know why I keep saying Crystal Wing. Crystal Bell. I was running a Crystal Bell deck that essentially was my Starving Venom deck, but you use Crystal Bell instead of using Starving Venom. And I had to figure out what's like the fastest way to try and get Crystal Bell out on the field and to be able to activate its ability to copy monsters from the graveyard and send over powerful monsters from my extra deck to my grave in order to like grab their abilities and use them on my opponents. And it's pretty cool. It's the closest thing I think you can make to my old Starving Venom decks that I used to run. But I just have like been there, done that. So I've moved beyond that now. Kevin said, I'm thinking of making a Type 0 Magic Crusher burn deck. What a name. Type 0. Fucking Type 0 Magic Crusher. The fuck is that? I'm looking that up now. Discard one spell card from your hand and inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent's life points. So my immediate thought is, I don't know how good that would be. Like I feel like any spell you would discard with that, wouldn't you rather just use? And if you discard a spell that doesn't give you any additional bonuses when it's in the graveyard, then that spell's just kind of wasted. You're essentially just burning spell cards to deal 500 points. So your opponent has 8,000 life points. If you were to kill them only by Type 0 Magic Crusher, you would have to hit them with 16 spell cards. So your deck minimum needs 16 spell cards. 16 spell cards in a 40 card deck means that whoa. Hold on. Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong. If he had 3 Type 0 Magic Crushers on the field, Ryan, could he discard one spell card and deal 1,500 damage? Like, could he discard one for the cost of all 3 of them? Or is that not how it works? Because it's not whenever you discard a card, it's discard one card. So I think even if he had 3 on the field, he couldn't be like, it stacks. He couldn't be like, um, so I don't really know. So I'm gonna ask Ryan on that because Ryan probably knows better than me on this. Um, if you have 3, does it stack or does it not stack? He said he could discard one for 500. Okay, so it doesn't seem like it stacks. Type 0 Magic Crusher just seems kind of bad. Let's see. Ryan said Popeyes. Nani's Meeman. Ryan said Psychopass Season 3 hype. Then Kel said, wait, Psychopass Season 3? Then your boy Ryan said $5.99. Let's see. Let me look at some tips for Type 0 Magic Crusher. It can be searched by Cat of Ill Omen. It can be searched by a Cat of Ill Omen and the Despair Uranus. Chain with Force Requisition to force your opponent to discard a card from their hand every time you use this card's effect. Use this card with Magical Blast, since you can choose to return it to your hand on the beginning of your turn. When combined with the previous tactic, your opponent also loses a card every turn. And it's a decent way of getting rid of Ojama magic for its own effect. So Magical Blast. If this card is in your during your draw phase, if this card is in your graveyard, instead of conducting your normal draw, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. So if you run Magical Blast as what you throw away, Kevin, then you can have your Type C thing throw away Magical Blast, and then you can recycle it every draw phase, and just keep burning your opponent. But your opponent, you'd have to do stuff to prevent your opponent from just riggedy wrecking your shit. Like you'd have to do stuff to prevent them from just hitting you, like riding the jitters. And you'd also have to be ready for your opponent to potentially just destroy all your Type 0 Magic Crushers. Because it only takes an MST or a Galaxy Cyclone or, there are just a shit ton of different, like, spell and trap card removal cards that someone could run to just like stomp on it. So you just have to be prepared for that. Um, so that's just like a possible risk, and it seems like something that would take a long time for you to get through. Let's see. Ryan said, "So let me look at some tits." Then Kel said, "Who's hyped for Joker and Smash?" I don't really care. Let's see. Ryan said, "Hype for Avenger spoilers." Then he said, "Magical Blast is hella bad." He said it was for spell counter generation like 20 years ago, and it was bad then. He'd only be using it with Type Zero Magic Crusher, and he'd be using it to discard it, not to actually play it. So instead of doing whatever Magical Blast normally does, he'd be using it to deal 500 damage, and then he'd get it back, like it would boomerang back to him. Um, I'm trying to figure out if I've ever used a burn strat that I really liked, that I felt like actually worked well. Um, I don't know. I don't think I've ever used burn that I really liked. Dark Sanctuary's cool burn. Let's see. Ryan said take 18 turns. It wouldn't take 18 turns to do it, would it? I think I know what Ryan's. Wait. 18 turns. Yeah, it would take 18 turns. Wow, yeah. Ryan's like, if you can live 18 turns, you might as well just play Final Countdown and live a couple more turns than do Type Zero Magic Crusher. I see what Ryan's saying. Kel said, Jet, just so you know, after I make your stand, I'm gonna make like a fan fiction thing that'll be a stand battle between you and me. You with the winter and me with sugar. Oh, ballin'. Speaking of fan fiction, feel free to submit your fan fictions to the Amino. I've noticed that people haven't been doing it in a hot minute. That used to be a thing. Feel free to go to our Amino, the Nickabenson Nation Amino, and just type in like a fan fiction, limit it to 200 words or less, featuring like me and just whatever else you want. I'll read it. I'll read it on a live stream. 200 words or less. Just post a fan fiction to the Amino. Also, fan art. If you want to draw a picture of me and anything else, also in there. As long as it's something I can show on YouTube, I'd be more than happy to like share your fan art that you do of your boy on the channel. I support fan art. Hit me up. Let's see. Kevin said, "Good point, Ryan." And he said, "Thanks, Anjet." Oh, no problem. Kel said, "I'm gonna make two, one where you win and one where I win." Ah, giving us some options. Excuse me. Ryan said, "Fanfic of Jet and Maddie's dick, fan art too." Ooh, weird. Hard weird flex. Weird hard flex. Does it flex if it's hard? Pause. Let's see. So what am I thinking about? So we talked about fan fiction, fan art. Um, I guess I'm trying to figure out what else I'm hyped for tomorrow. Maybe if I can set any personal goals. So if I'm on page 64 right now in the DC character guide, it shouldn't. This isn't like a big goal, but if I could get to page 70 in the DC character guide, that'd be really cool. Like tomorrow, I'm on page 52 of the Marvel character guide. If I could catch up with where I am at the DC character guide and get to page 64 in that one, that would be nice. So that's like another goal I could achieve. If I could finish writing the character guidebook that I'm currently working on, volume 3 of the Ultimate Character Guide of the Excitement Superhero Universe, if I can finish writing volume 3 and submit that for publishing, that'd be like another win. So that's like a third goal that I could like try and work toward. Um, what's another goal that I could try to achieve tomorrow? Oh, speaking of Amino, because we were talking about Amino a moment ago. I'm now on Dating Amino again. Da-dun, da-dun. I did Dating Amino like forever ago. I just haven't really touched it in like a long time. I like got out of Dating Amino. I was like, no, But now I'm back. I'm back on Dating Amino, back trying to mingle with singles. Um, there's this one Indian girl who wants to like try and chat, I guess. So that could be interesting. I don't know. But we're back. We're back with this online dating stuff. Let's go. Let's try it out. Let's see. Ryan said hyped for Young Justice season 3 part 2. Do we know when Young Justice season 3 part 2 is gonna drop? Let's see. Nani said cool Benson. Then Ryan said electric boogaloo. Kevin said, will it be okay if the fan art is cringe since my drawing skills aren't all that good? I'm totally fine with cringe fan art. I approve of that message. Let's see. Nani said online dating with Nick. Then Ryan said Jet is not a pedophile. And then Nani said, wait, you're using Amino? Lol, what the fuck? So what I've discovered is that dating Amino oddly has a lot of people on it. It's just weird. Cause you could be like dating Amino. That sound how what would be the point? And it's like the idea would be that there are like actually thousands of people on dating Amino, and there are people from like all over the world. So you have a variety of different people to like talk to, and they're all on dating Amino for the same reason. They're like trying to date. It's just a huge community of like single people. And because it's Amino, a lot of people are gonna be like, I'm already nerdy and into nerdy shit. Because that's why I'm on Amino, because I'm a part of like some kind of subculture that's into nerdy shit. So you go on like dating Amino and you do a blog post and you're like, I'm into anime and comic books. And then a whole bunch of other people are like, really, me too. Like, no shit. We're all on Amino. That's what we're all into, and it's not that hard to like try and do it. Let's see. Then Kel said, Jet, what would you do if you woke up and next to you was a clone of yourself? He is also aware that he's a clone. Um, so if I woke up like after I go to bed like now and there was like a clone next to me, um, I guess I'd have to try and figure out what we should do. I'd be like, you if you have like the same skills as me, should maybe stay here. I know I have like a few things I'd like to do, like to get done, and maybe if you could do those things here and I take the final exam, then we could be Gucci. Like I'd be like, clone, can you like update my resume and then like upload it to like a bunch of different platforms or whatever, and then could you maybe work on like the emo shape demo a little bit, like the program, and you can do all that on like the Windows laptop that I have, and then I can use the Chrome laptop to do like the fan poll stuff, and then I can also use it to like get ready for the final and everything. I feel like that's not what I would do. Like that's like a, oh, I have a clone, I should be more productive. No, it would probably be like, I have a clone of myself. Oh, that's dope. You want to play Dragon Ball Fighter Z? Do you want to see if you could like beat yourself in Fighter Z? Uh, I'm curious if we would just clash constantly, or if we would constantly try to like outthink the other person and still end up clashing constantly. I'm curious if I could somehow surprise myself with things that I would say. So giving my opinion, or if we could somehow have different opinions on things, or sometimes play devil advocate just because, just to like see how we would like bounce thoughts off of each other. So we would do a lot of talking shit. It would be a lot of, I wonder where you came from. I don't know where I came from. Alternate universe me? No, I think I would know that. Oh, so you're aware you're a clone? Yeah, I'm aware that I'm a clone. Oh, that's interesting. Fuck. How did I not notice that I was like next to another person while I was asleep? I don't know. Seems like it would be like hot. It would just be hotter than normal. It's like agreed. Seems kind of weird. Matter of fact, probably sweaty. Fuck. Gotta take a shower again. Not showering with myself. That'd be weird. Is it weird? Yes. Don't do that shit. Cool. It'd be a lot of that. Let's see. Nani said, so is Ryan using Dayton Amino? And then Ryan said, only if Nani is there. And then Nani said, no, you mean Kells. You better have. Then Ryan said Rukia is a bitch. Nani then posted a link to something. Then Ryan said hot bitch. Then Kel said, I think it would be kind of weird because you're the same person. Excuse me. Then Nani said, lol, look at this, Nick. Look at what? What's that YouTube link, Nani? Then Ryan said, gotta take a shower. But what's the link? And then Nani said, who said she's a bitch? Ryan. And then Ryan said, because bitches. Then else the above or all the above. You'd have to define incest real quick. Because is incest. Well, if incest is having sex with a member of your family, right? Then you are a member of your own family. So, yeah. Masturbation, I don't think, is defined as having sex with yourself. So, I don't think it would count as masturbation. Also, you guys may be wondering, Jet, why are you sliding on those headphones? What you doing? I'm pulling up 10 hours of classical music. Now you may be saying, classical music? Classical music is public domain. Why don't you play the classical music on the stream? And I'm doing that. I'm not playing the classical music on the stream so that you guys have the option to listen to whatever music you want to without having to try and have that music compete with the classical music that I'm listening to. Then Nani said, who said she's a hot bitch? Ryan. And then Ryan said, like Rukia. Let's see. But yeah, in a perfect world, I would use having a clone to be more efficient. But more likely than not, I would use having a clone to make a YouTube video that no one would believe is real. I would be like, there's like a second me here. There are like two me's here. This is crazy. And people would be like editing. I see like the fucking line. No one's gonna believe that that's you. That that's like a second you. And then be like, oh cool, thanks. Then Ryan said, added consideration for bitches like Rukia. Then Kel said, incest is when you have sexual relations with someone who's biologically and genetically related to you. That would be yourself. So yeah, that'd be incest. Nani said, so is Ryan saying he doesn't like Rukia? He said, I don't get it. Then Ryan said, Rukia equals a bitch. And then Kevin said, what if I don't want to hear music, but hear your awesome voice? Then you're in the right place. Because I'm listening to the music with headphones, so that you guys don't have to hear it, but you can still hear my voice. Then Nani said, I forgot he is gay, so I see why he hates her. Let's see. Right now I'm just chilling. This classical music's not bad. Then Nani said, Kel's Cross Ryan will be a comic one day. Nani, are you gonna draw that comic? Is that a threat, Nani? You about to make that comic? And then Nani said, but Ryan is the receiver in the comic. Then Ryan said, gay for bitches like Rukia. Ryan's like, I think I found my new troll target. I don't know how this is gonna go, Ryan. I can't tell if this is like a slippery slope or like a dry slope. I don't know if you walk on that trope, not trope. I don't know if you walk on that slope and you trip, or if you like walk on that trope and it, fuck. I just have no idea where I was going with that. I have, do you, troll on. It's too late. What time is it? 1:47 a.m. Yep, it's too late for me to try that. Uh, Sorry, there's a disconnect. While I'm doing the stream, I'm gonna read issue 3 of Naomi. Nani said it will be about Kel's gym partner. Then Ryan comes in the picture. Ryan said more accurate for the bitches. Let's see. I'm still trying to figure out who the fuck Naomi is. Nani said it will be. Oh, Nani said lag stream, lag storm, lagacane. Well, I think this is a good time as any to end the stream before it just completely lags out. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button. Please smash that like button. I know so we got 5 viewers and 2 likes. Could we please get this video from 5 viewers and 2 likes to 5 viewers and 5 likes? Truly appreciate it. Thank you all once again for tuning in. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we do these live streams. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the one and only, logging out. And make sure you stay tuned. I'm about to set up the fan poll. That way you guys can vote for what you guys would like to watch next on the stream. Thank you all for smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the one and only,